Hi, I'm Sammaya, and you're watching African Diaspora News Channel. Today we're going to be talking about the myth that Black Americans commit the most crimes in America. Violent crimes in America, they have one common trend, and that is that they happen in very urban areas. When we're talking urban areas, we're talking a city that is very fast-paced and very vibrant. It has a lot of man-made structures such as houses and buildings and businesses. The lifestyle can be described as just, very open, and there's always something to do. It's very opposite of the rural lifestyle, which is small local towns. It shows that the crime is a direct result of an economic decline. So we can talk about cities like Detroit, for example. We all know that back in the 60s, Detroit was a hub for automobile manufacturing. And then after the riots, they had to file for bankruptcy. There was a lot of economic decline, and as a result, the population declined as well, and the people, they had to move away, and there was no work being done, which resulted in a lot of crime. And today, Detroit is still one of the most violent cities in America, so that's sad that they were never really able to recover from that. Location, as far as countries and counties and regions, play a very big part in how crime is committed. But out of all of these crimes committed, Black Americans have only been arrested for 27.2% of these crimes, while white Americans are responsible for the arrest of 68.9% of these crimes. It's very obvious that we are being targeted, and the data is very conflicting, especially when compared to this one chart that I looked at. It says roughly 13% of the American population is Black. And out of that 13%, it says that 40% of the incarcerated population is Black Americans. Now, just the data, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't seem right. The amount of crime-related arrests are declining while the population of incarcerated Black Americans continues to grow. And the correlation between the two, it does not make any sense. It's also quite interesting how some Black Americans are often overrepresented in states where their population is lower than the actual population of the Black people being incarcerated in that area. Looking at how the evidence can be concrete and Black people are still targeted by police, people still believe otherwise, but it's very, very true that the police have been conspiring against us. The evidence points to all of that. It's quite interesting that Black Americans are overrepresented when compared to the population in the actual state. I was born in Cook County, Chicago, and my parents met in that city also. So when talking about the topic of crime in America, it's very evident to me that we can't ignore the fact that Chicago has been claimed to be one of the most violent cities in America as well. The crime rates are still going down, but the police are still destroying the Black community by targeting the people even when they're not doing anything wrong. So that's something that really needs to be changed. I want to do a social experiment very quick, and I just want to ask two short questions. First, do you use Google? And secondly, when you Google Black in America, what do you expect to see? If you click on the images, what do you think that you would see if you clicked on Black in America? I was blown away because I Googled Black in America and I scrolled page after page, and it's very appalling what I did see. The first picture is not a Black person smiling. It may be a happy family, but it's definitely not a family of the darker variety. It's very biased. There's no success stories, and if there is a success story, it's related to a white person. There is a white person in the picture, and it's as if they're being embraced as some sort of saving grace. So that's very interesting. I mainly saw prison jumpsuits and protest and pain, and this is the way we are represented in America. This is the way that we are represented when you Google Black in America. It's unbearable to think that this is how America sees our community, but there's not a lot being done that can suggest that somebody wants to make a change about something. The only time I saw Black people united is standing in the image outside of a courthouse because we're protesting the life of another innocent Black person being taken away. And it's not fair that these are the only images that represent unity in the Black community. We need to come together as a community. We have to stand together as a community, and we have to show that we are worth more, we provide more, we offer more. It's not crime, it's not violence. this is not how we need to be representing ourselves, because the evidence shows itself. When you go on Google, this is how we look, this is how we're portrayed, and this is something that we seriously need to work on as a community, how to change and how to just modify that image of how we're seen in America. So we just talked about the myth that Black Americans commit the most crimes. And after looking at the evidence, it's very, very clear that this is not true. So why are we being lied to? Why is there a propaganda being pushed against that the Black community is violent? We are not violent people. The Black community is we are people that want to build, and that should be shown in how we've helped build America as a whole. It is very painful that family members are in the judicial system, the system that keeps you locked in there. It's not easy to get out of that system once you're in it. You can do the simplest thing if you're on probation or parole and you go back, even if it's not even related to the case. A lot of Black Americans are incarcerated for the fact that they were simply driving a routine traffic stop and you have priors, so now you're gonna go to jail. It's not fair, it's not right, and I don't understand why the Black community is being targeted this way. It's just very painful to see how in America, the country that we live in, the country that we live for, everybody is so against the Black community. So when it comes to the myth that Black Americans commit the most crimes, and it's obviously a myth, the only thing that we can do is stand up and present ourselves better as Americans to change these misconceptions and to look these myths in the face and say, hey, we know the facts, we know you're wrong, and we're gonna do something to fix it. I'm Sammaya, you've been watching African Diaspora News Channel. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you support us by becoming a YouTube channel member. Join us on Patreon, and we also have Cash App. All of the links will be down below in the pinned comment.